Hello guys, today it was first day of festival from Far Bar Bikes. It's Bayern, Germany. Maybe for next year, if you live in just in this area, you can visit also this place. There is bicycle shop Far Bar, and it's my second time that I'm here. And you can test a lot of bikes. You can buy a ticket with discount for shuttle, for lift. It's also good. And there is a good chance just to start your season, but today there is some snow here but start of season was really nice. So bike park, this Lermas bike park is also interesting one, and today it was on a test some interesting bikes. Of course, it was Track Rail XE, Orbea Wild, it was Track Rail old one and new one, XE. Some modifications of this bike. By the way, there is a new one, and I tested some of these bikes, also e-bikes Yeti and usual bio bikes Yeti. Even in this test it was session bikes that you can just try. It was some information about TQ system and new track slash with TQ and VLXE the same. And the main interesting moment that was interesting here is the bike Amflow and Unno, but Unno just now it's here, but all day it was busy. So Amflow with DJI Avinox motor. I have already tested this bike, so video will be soon. And some alternative for Amflow, it's Unno. It's also with DJI Avinox, as you see. And yeah. Maybe now I have chance to test this bike, but I have no energy for this. There is some gravel bikes, it's also interesting, but except these two bikes for this year, in this year, I don't know, it's not much new bikes, but this is really interesting. Two models, these two bikes, and interesting was to compare this bike with Yeti and with Orbea LT, Rice LT, for example, just to understand what is better. But in my opinion, now for me, Amflow, I think, was more interesting than another bikes because of it's something middle. So you have a lot of power, but the weight of this bike is not crazy. So you feel this bike, and yeah, it's interesting experience. Also track slash, of course. But after this DJI stuff, you understand that you can't make so many interesting things with motors that only 50 or 55 newtons. Yeah, for you it can be enough, but sometimes powerful motor can help you to spend funny time, even you ride to the up. So not just ride to the up, make this ride funny, and it's more interesting. So after these tests we will see what will be the most popular motor and bike. But now DJI Avinox just started, but they have so many pluses. I don't understand how it can be if you have a choice just between Bosch, Shimano, for example, and DJI Avinox, because you have more power, price is the same, and less weight. So yep, but maybe the prices can be better for another bikes who have old models, old motors, and this year will show to us it can happen or not, because if you can build a new interesting motor, powerful, lightweight and adjustable, adaptable and all this thing, yeah, I think you need to sell all your bikes for a good price and try to make a new bikes with new interesting motors. But for now, I still don't understand what is better for me. Just have TQ motor that maximum lightweight, or DJI Avinox that not so lightweight but also not so heavy, like Bosch CX. And second step, what I want to understand and what I want to test it, to test some bike like DJI Avinox, like Amflow, but with battery not 800 watts, just with battery 400 watts. For today, I hope this video was useful for you, and maybe in future you also visited this festival, because it's a lot of interesting things here, and I like these festivals because I don't know how to test all bikes or motor in one place if you can't visit a festival. In bike shop it's impossible. Maybe it's possible, but it's not so easy. So I hope in future you also visit this festival and another festival, and it's give you a lot of positive emotions. And of course, after this test I check another test videos and information, a lot of information from websites. And what can I say after? In my opinion, the best choice and variant that can be, but not in this case, if you have the option of a removable battery. So if you can change your battery just 400 watts for 800 watts, because 800 watts battery, weight of this battery, just only battery, 4 kilograms. So in case if you just want to ride on bike park, for example, you can remove this battery, it's minus 4 kilogram, and you can ride on a lightweight bike with motor, okay, but lightweight bike. It's good option, it's more universal, but in this case we have no this option. Also in Amflow you have option and you can buy pro version of this bike with battery 600 watts. It 1 kilogram minus, and by the way, Amflow, its weight of this bike something near 20 kilograms, and Unno MIF is 21 and a half or something. So Unno MIF is more heaviest bike. But in both these bikes you have no easy way to remove your battery, and only in Amflow you have option to buy this bike with battery a little bit lighter than 800 watts. In Unno you have no this option. There is the same 800 watts battery, and yeah, this moment that you have this option, for me it's not perfect. But from another side, when your battery is not removable, you can remove this battery, but you need to remove your motor, and it's not so easy. But if your battery just inside your frame, it's I think for more safety, because you can just forget your battery in a forest after a big drop. But in the same way it's not so universal, because for example in track rail you can remove your battery, but I'm not sure that you can remove your battery and change to lightest battery, but you can remove your battery. And also about a price. So if you take Unno and Amflow Pro version, it's something near 9 or 10,000 euros UVP price, and there is a lot, of course. But in Amflow case you have version Amflow PL, and there is 6,500 euros for carbon bike, but another parts, not carbon rims and all this stuff. But you have this option, and there is interesting price for this bike with DJI Avinox motor and carbon frame. Only brakes Magura, for me it's not so perfect and good one, and there is not only my opinion. Everybody told in every test about these brakes on Amflow bike, but to change brakes it's not so difficult like change motor or frame or something else. So you can change if you also need this. Also in previous videos I checked some commentaries about Specialized. Yeah, you have option to choose your battery in these bikes, but in Specialized there are some moments, just first moment about the price for 6,500 without any sales. We just talk about UVP price. If you can buy Amflow bike for this price with carbon frame and 20 kilograms weight. So in the case of Specialized, it will be Specialized Lever SL lightweight bike with 15 newtons and something about 21 and half of 22 kilograms with alloy frame for the same price, 6,500 euros. And maybe you have a lot of options in these bikes, but also you have not so good capacity, have not so good things that you can get for this money. So in this moment you have a many of interesting factors that you need to complain, and after that understand what is better for you. Of course, if you have chance to test some bikes, it will be perfect. And I want to remember for you that every this bike was tested by me, but not so perfect, maybe not so good that I expected before, but you can find these tests in playlist just under this video. And about Unno, I can say that it was just little test for 5 minutes because I feeling not good in this moment and it was evening and it was only 10 minutes for me that I can test this bike. I'm not sure that for me this bike is perfect because of weight of this bike and not so handling like Amflow, but all guys that I know who have Unno Myth and Unno Iki are so happy. So I think that Unno is also interesting one, and I try to test Unno later, but not for 10 minutes, for normal test. If this option will be available for me, I'll use this option for sure, 100%. And of course, don't forget for Orbea Rise LT that have upgraded Shimano motor RC that a little bit lighter than usual one. It's also interesting moment that you can boat with 400 watt battery, and the weight of this bike in LT version also like 20 kilograms. It's interesting bike, and maybe you can find this bike and another bike with Shimano, maybe not upgraded Shimano motors, but for good sales price. Because now, for example, in internet I saw that sometimes you can find some sales with Santa Cruz Bullet just with carbon rims and carbon all around for 5,200 euros, just because of old Shimano motors that I told before. So I hope you found your perfect bike for you, and maybe this video can help you just a little bit. For today, thanks for your use and have a good one.